Buongiorno, everyone. Welcome back to the Magpie Channel podcast on the new slot of Mondays at 6 p.m. live. This is obviously due to the Champions League fixtures, Carabao Cup fixtures next week, and all the rest of the midweek disturbances that are happening when you're a massive club and playing in loads of competitions. Before we get into this week's podcast, shout out William Hill's Final One Standing for sponsoring this one. I'm thankfully through on the 200k cash prize. Picked Newcastle last week, so I'm through to the next week's round. But as you can see on your screen, if you're knocked out or you haven't entered yet, you can get involved. And there's new games every single week. It is a 20 grand prize this week for William Hill's Final One Standing. The deadline to pick is Saturday at 12:30 before the lunchtime kickoff. The Merseyside derby. Tasty one, right? So if you fancy yourself in the Football Ultimate Eliminator game, which is free, of course, then scan the QR code or hit the link in the description. Terms and conditions apply, and you have to be 18 plus to play, and please do gamble responsibly. Alrighty then, Keg, how we doing, Walker?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad. Excited about our new little time slot here.
Oh, yes.
Back into it after our little break next week. It was a well-deserved break, wasn't it?
It was.
There was absolutely no good football happening, aka the international break, a long summer of transfer rumours and activities and signings and boycotts and all that shite.
Oh, it's been mental.
It's been a long one. So, yeah, had a well-deserved time off, and here we are on my new time slot.
Yeah, we are. New time slot. Big week ahead. Barcelona on Thursday night. We will look. It doesn't really, does it? I was watching the highlights of the iconic 97-98 clash there. It was actually 28 years nearly to the exact day. I think it was 17th of September, 97, around that time. Yeah. So it was very close to the 30th year anniversary, but very close to obviously playing them this week, which is a bit ironic, really, with them lining up there. Come back to St. James's. Watched it back. It's on YouTube. If anyone wants to watch it back, it's on like a 10-minute highlight thing on Amazon Prime. And you can enjoy it all over again. I tell you what a game that was. But in typical Newcastle fashion, just how scary it was at the end, how tense it was at the end. You're 3-0 up, cruising.
Lovely.
Figo, like 87th minute, 89th minute. Oh, and you're thinking, yeah, we're gone. But Newcastle hung in there.
Ricky got one from left back.
He did, It was funny watching that back because it was like highlighting players who are now managers and who are now pundits. Obviously, Shea Given in goal there for Newcastle, Beresford Barton, people have had on the channel. And then from the PSG side, obviously he's the manager now. Luis Enrique, when he was playing at Barcelona, there was another one as well that I looked at and I was like, I haven't even played. But it's a class game. Let's hope more the same this week, an entertaining one, but we'll touch on that towards the end of the show. Let's begin, Keg, with that win. Finally a win.
Eventually,
First win of the season. We're going on like with 14 games in it. Isn't it? The fourth game. Set standards now. Set standards. So, yeah, fourth game in. First win. 1-0. Woltemade. What a start for him, eh?
It was a very good start. It's the perfect start, and like that's what you want, especially when you spend big money on a striker straight in the starting lineup. Week one, like first game that he's available for, because obviously signed just before Leeds, so he wasn't available for Leeds, and we went on the international break. So first game of availability, straight in the starting lineup, and a goal. That was about half an hour in, something like that, 20-odd minutes.
Just up to half an hour, mark.
Yeah, perfect start, and he showed what he's all about, because getting into the game, it wasn't the best of games, really, was it?
Half was awful.
Yeah, like Wolves started really strongly. Could be maybe 2-0 up in 10 seconds.
I know. That
mad start.
I was like, what is going on here?
I thought we were going to get smacked.
From the leaders then, I couldn't really see how good Pope's save was. When you watch it back, you're like, wow, that's a tremendous save there, isn't it, Pope?
Yeah, well, it really was.
Great save.
But yeah, it wasn't the best of games. Like Wolves aren't great. I mean, the
bottom of the league.
Yeah, turned up. They played pretty well, to be fair to them. But yeah, against a team like that, who that star striker Strand Larson wasn't available.
I was going to say, if he was there, do you reckon could have been a different story?
Different, I don't know. But yeah, like it wasn't the best performance. But the man got the goal, and his performance really was good. And I think you could see what he's all about, because you see like a 6'6" striker, you just see headers, you see a target man, you see we're booting the ball up, him holding it down or whatever. But he is a lot more than that. So he's really good at like coming deep, collecting the ball and and playing it off, like linking up and stuff, like getting like in the hole instead of like just like holding onto the back line. He's really good player, really good with his feet, really like technical player. Like I say, he's not just that big long streak of piss up top. But although that does come in handy when you are 6'6", you get a looping ball into the back stick, bush, get your nut on that sunshine. It's a little bit sort of like Peter Crouch. Like I don't really want to like resemble him to Peter Crouch, although Peter Crouch was an underrated player. He played for Liverpool.
Scream
some of
as
the
well.
top ones. So
I'm sure he's that Crouchy scored back in the day.
I'm sure he's the Premier League's all-time leading goal scorer in headers, which makes sense, being a big lad like that. But Crouchy was more than just like that big lad up front getting his head on the ball. He had overhead kicks. He had that volley against Man City. Like he played for top teams like Liverpool and Tottenham. Like they just don't come easily. Like Champions League nights. Like I'm sure he was part of that Gareth Bale game against Inter Milan, wasn't he? He scored one of them overhead kicks were in the Champions League. Like he was a top player, Crouch, but he was really good on the ball technically, like playing like outside the box and that. And like Woltemade like a little bit like that. Like you wouldn't say he's better than Peter Crouch, but he's that kind of player. Like he's not just that big target man. Like he's really good, technically gifted footballer.
Because you mentioned headers, and he even said it in his post-match interview that he's been working on his headers when he was still at Stuttgart during the summer because he feels like he hasn't got enough of them in his career so far. And everyone thought because of his height, you're saying a big target man and all that. But it was well known that he just didn't score many headers. And then he was in Germany they talk about how good he is technically and with his feet for a big man. Got a good touch for a big man, all that carry on. But he's been working on it, and you can see, and he's going to get the service at Newcastle. We'll talk about Jacob Murphy soon. But Woltemade was amazing to see him get off the mark because that's just going to do wonders for his confidence now.
Absolutely, it's getting off to a good start as a striker, especially if you feel the pressure of big money. I think that's pressure maybe is a bit more on the fans and the people that signed him, like Eddie Howe's and people like that, like new club record signing. So, like I said, as fans, you feel like, especially after losing Isaac, he knows guaranteed a goal. It's big pressure, big responsibility. But early goal just settled them nerves right in front of the Toon crowd in the Leazes. Brilliant start, and can't fault it. Like that cross, that header, that was brilliant. But I think his overall performance was really impressive as well.
His link-up play was decent, wasn't it? He had nice touches in and around the box. He was never bullied by the Wolves defenders. First game in the Premier League, obviously. He went off with cramp. He said
it's the physical league, innit?
But you've played
Wolves. Anyone good yet?
Jesus, good job it wasn't pretty Arsenal in the first game or Liverpool in the first game. But listen, he's going to take time. I think we have to be wary of that. I'm buzzing. Obviously, he got off the mark in his first game with debut delight. But I was saying, if he was fit, and we're getting to Wissa's injury soon, then I would probably went with you on Wissa. Because of that Premier League experience.
Maybe so.
Because he knows where the back of the net is, and Bed, Woltemade in, and Eddie Howe religiously does that with the foreign players that he brings in. But he's came in, started like that, looks at home, and the German league is completely different. You've seen it with the stick Florian Wirtz is getting. Do you know what I mean? And that's because of the price tag as well.
120 million Big Yammer.
That's just disrespectful to Almiron. That's just disrespectful to Almiron right there. But no, it's nice brought in Almiron. I like it. We'll take that one. Alex, you can have that one, son. We'll mention that until you actually do something. But the physicality, the pace is so different. But Woltemade for 23-year-old to come in, score that goal, and it shows exactly what we've been saying about for the past month since the league started, what Newcastle be missing. Because if he was there from the start, if we had a half
that could have easily been another 0-0.
We could have been top of the league, man. We could have 12 points, Tony. We had a striker.
Who was our first game of the season again?
Villa away, and we're dominated.
0-0 against Villa, 0-0 against Leeds. That could quite easily have been another 0-0 without that striker.
Would have been. If he wasn't there, would have been, definitely.
And even maybe the Liverpool game might have gone a little bit of a different way if we actually had like a striker up front.
Yeah, scored first, maybe.
Like that is the difference, actually having a striker, not Anthony Gordon, who is nowhere near a number 9, and Asula, who's nowhere near good enough to lead the line in the Premier League. But that is the difference, actually having someone capable of getting a goal, even if it was Wissa, one of the two, it didn't really matter. But with it particularly being Woltemade, who's, let's say, what club record signing, he's the big new foreign name, the young talents, like the Isaac replacement. Like for him, particularly to get off the mark and score a goal on his debut, it really is good to see. And I think, like, you're right, like it is like going to be a bit of a slow start. Like he played about an hour, didn't he? Not even 70 minutes. 60 minutes on his debut. come off with a bit of cramp because he's feeling the physicality of the English Premier League. It's not an easy league. It's a difficult league. Plenty players probably better than Nick Voldemort came and filled in the past.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, it's just going to be one of them things. Just take it easy for him. I'm quite happy that he got subbed off. To be fair, like, and it's another opportunity for Sulak to kind of show what he's worth. But yeah, with Wissa, like I agree that I probably would have started him just to kind of bleed Voldemort in. Like with Wissa already having like 3-4 years Premier League experience, almost got double figure goals in open play last year. Yeah. Knows where the net is, got that experience, older head. So yeah, I probably would have led him as well if he was fit and available and just bled Voldemort in for them last 20-30 minutes.
We've also got to keep in mind that we've got the short matter of the small matter, shall I say, of Barcelona on Thursday. But I tell you what, that should probably suit Woltemade more because it's not going to be an English team where they are going to be as physical, and Spain's obviously a bit slower, so he might suit that a bit more. And I tell you what, he'll be riding the wave as well. He's already said it. He's counting down the minutes. He can't wait to play on Thursday night, Woltemade, and experience the Champions League atmosphere. If you think it's 3 o'clock against Wolves is any good, wait until you get 8 o'clock against Barcelona. Another light. It's going to be a special one.
More flags appearance as well.
Is it? Yeah.
From what I've seen, yeah.
Yeah, we're hearing it's the biggest display ever or something, maybe something like that. So that should be interesting to see. But we'll talk about Barcelona at the end of the show. Finish off.
Just want a big Tino tifo, and I ain't talking Livramento.
No, we're not. We're talking Espriat. And he was there obviously for the launch of like the third kit, wasn't he, in Newcastle, in the Irish Centre, with Sam Fender and that.
Yeah, he was.
Sit next to Isa. Not rats in the promo video. But listen, hopefully Tino is there on Thursday night.
He's got to be. We'll fly him.
He's got
to
be. He's here every week. So.
Get him out at half time with his chinchilla on.
Oh, that'd be class. Perfect. That needs to happen. That's a great idea.
You're listening.
Shout. Yeah, you're listening. Yeah. Get in.
Get Tino on the bell.
Get Tino there.
Buy him a new chinchilla.
Leave out the gun this time, maybe. Because, remember that assault rifle, the other picture of it, your Pepsi advert or something? It's bizarre. 90s, eh? 90s. What a time. But on Woltemade, to finish things off on him, you mentioned Peter Crouch as a comparison. He's been getting loads of similarities of late to different players. Is there anyone else that springs to mind? Or when I look at him, you do see someone of maybe like Zlatan Ibrahimovic, where he's that technical and he's only going to get more powerful with age. Seeing things like Dimitar Berbatov because of a tall, skillful player. But for me, you've seen this from reports when he's broke into the German side, the national team, is that he is just unique.
Yeah.
I think very different. Really unique.
Because he's gangly, isn't he? And that's why I kind of see him like being like Peter Crouch, because just tall, long, skinny. He's still a young lad. Like, if he bulks up, if he puts a bit of muscle on and becomes a bit more like a Ibrahimovic or Berbatov type, then I think that will maybe suit him well as well, being in the physical English Premier League. Like if he put on a bit of muscle, thickens himself out a little bit, that might help his game a little bit well. But yeah, just his physique at the minute, I can't help but think of like a Peter Crouch, and it does sound mad because you don't think of Peter Crouch like you're listing your names of like your Ibrahimovic's and your Berbatovs, that you don't really put Peter Crouch in that bracket. But it is quite disrespectful if you think back. Peter Crouch wasn't really good footballer. He didn't play for shit teams. You remember him playing for Portsmouth.
That Portsmouth team was really good.
And he played for Southampton and Villa, and he's played for loads of big clubs.
Spurs and Liverpool.
So he played Champions League for top teams like Liverpool and Tottenham. He was a very technically gifted footballer with his feet outside the box, not just that big target man, but he also has got the regular Premier League goals with his head. And I think Woltemade could be that same kind of character. Just whip them delightful balls into the back stick. Your big 6'6" boy, he's going to be there, nut one in. But he's going to smash them in like the Crouchies. He's going to get them in off the edge of the box. So you can do a bit of all sorts instead of just being that target man, just being a really technically gifted footballer.
What he is having the luxury of is having a brilliant provider back in the team is Jacob Murphy. Now, he was shunned out really at the start of the season with the arrival of Elanga for £55 million, but Jacob Murphy's came back in the last couple of games and he's made it his own again. I'm so pleased he's carried on. He didn't get disheartened and get down. He could have easily took a huff and thought, I had 20-odd goal contributions last year, goals and assists. What's going on here? I should be in the team until I fall out of form, But he came back in, grafted, and again, the crossing, man. I mean, the cross was so perfect for Woltemade. On a plate, the service that he's getting. The thing is, what everyone talks about, Isaac's goals and stuff, most of them were provided by
season,
Jacob Murphy.
I was thinking that.
Delivery and everything. So, Salah better step up, really. You're going to get anywhere near Murphy.
Florian Almiron.
Yeah, Florian Almiron.
Good luck with them assists.
Yeah, and Mickey Vitz. So, Murphy, man, just on him, right wing, the crosses, the services that Woltemade is going to get. He said as well, post-match, Big Nick, that Jacob was saying to him, I'm going to cross the ball in loads. I'm going to be, get ready for these balls getting whipped into the area. And he was ready because there was a nice touch on Match Today where they were analysing it afterwards and they were showing the 6-yard box and how he's just attacking that all the time. And that looked like he'd been in the league and been with Murphy and these players for years, but he'd only actually had 2 training sessions.
I only joined back up with the group after his international break because straight after the Leeds game, he went and joined the Germany group.
He did,
and he only came back like 2 or 3 days before the game. So it's not a lot of time, but he did seem to be on the right page. Yeah.
Positive signs though going forward for Murphy linking up with Woltemade, and even listen to Langa might even come in for Barca with that transition, counter attack, the pace. Gordon will obviously come back in probably for Barnes. But it's looking good in terms of the balls that will be on a plate for Woltemade. Hopefully, it was a great powerful header, but it was a perfect cross.
It was, and I am happy for Jacob Murphy because there was always that little bit of a worry, obviously over the past 3 years, maybe 4 years, a right wing has been such a priority target for us. On paper, going into the last season after selling Minter, Jacob Murphy and Miggy Almiron's that's horrendous. That, but last season, Murphy, it was the season of his career. 29 years old, finally started to perform. Did he finish the league with most or second to Salah? Only second to Salah on the six. Yeah. But what a season! And even goals, he must have got close to 10 goals. It was almost 20 goals and assists. Nearly was it?
It was over 20 goals and assists. I think it was
an unbelievable season for anyone's standards. But a 29-year-old who's been a bit of a bit part squad player, even back in the Brucey day, he was losing out to Christian Atsu and
other struggling on loan, even to Sheffield.
Sheffield, all right in Championship League One, but that seemed to be his level, really, wasn't it? But I was a little bit concerned that last season might have just been a bit of a flash in the pan.
Yeah, we've seen him before, haven't we, plenty of times.
And as you mentioned, Isaac, them two are really on the same page together. Would Murphy be second in the league in assists if it wasn't for having someone like Alexander Isak getting on the end of it?
That's fair.
And I think Isak even assisted quite a few of his goals as well. So I think maybe he's losing Isak and then kind of getting shunned out for your big, sexy signing, £55 million, the winger that we've been craving for. You're back on the bench, son. Well done. Last season was tremendous, but now you're back where you belong. You're on the bench. We've got a £55 million signing in now, so you'll get no game time. To be fair, Alanga probably deservedly had some critics over the first 3 games of the league. He hasn't really pulled anything out of the bag startling yet. Murphy, got your chance, and there it is. Now you've got a new player to provide service for. Isak was a tall lad, but I think Waldemar is a different level in terms of his aerial ability. So whip them balls in. You've got the ability. You can do it. It kind of made me laugh. I was just thinking back to about 5 years ago. Remember when we were just keep pinging balls into the box for Dwight Gale? What are you doing that for? What a difference! 5'8" Dwight Gale going up against 6'2" centre backs. Why we're crossing the ball? Yeah, there's absolutely no.
What a difference from tiny Dwight to Big Nick. Tiny Dwight to Big Nick. What a turnaround that is.
But that's what Jacob Murphy's good for, and having a player with that aerial ability, that big, tall 6'6" body. Murphy is perfect for that. He has always had that ability. It is just, I say 5 years ago, he's whipping them into Dwight Gale. Last year he had Isak. This year he's got Waldemar. I don't know. For me, if I'm picking a team now, obviously, sexy players Alanga, but results-wise, you cannot look past Murphy.
No, you cannot.
His stats in the pudding. It really is proofs in the pudding. His stats, even that assist for Waldemar on Saturday, you've got to start Murphy.
Yeah, I think you do. We're getting to who we think is going to start on Thursday night at the end of the show. But on Murphy, lastly, he was probably thinking, I've been a bit hard done by here, not getting a chance in Thomas Tuchel's England, because a lot of other players, Dan Burn, prime example, Jordan Bloody Henderson, lots of other players that haven't really featured before. Angel Gomez was in one of the squads, wasn't he? He's fair play. I like that as well, giving other players a chance instead of the same old names you play for Man United or whatever, or you get called up. And Murphy's probably looking at that and thinking, well, these players have been given opportunity and I haven't. After, like we said, having one of the best stats outputs in the entire Premier League last year.
Yeah.
But then again, he's obviously probably just looking at, I was going to say age, but he hasn't because he's called up down bin. But maybe it's because there's more options out there. A lot of players aren't getting into the side. He has got your Madueke here, so he really likes now.
Yeah, obviously Palmer wasn't the last squad because of injury, but Eze's
got Owen and Saka's obviously always going to be there. So it's probably the worst position to try and break into at the minute. But hey, good luck to him, and hopefully he keeps it up. And if he does anything like he did last season, then the World Cup, you never know. If someone who's fighting for those positions might get injured and he might get an opportunity. So he's probably thinking, I'm just going to play out my skin again and see where it gets to, see what happens. Because I'll tell you what, this time last year, if he had a set it down, he's going to be in the England squad. He would never believed it. He would never believed it, but thankfully he has, and he's been class and deserved it. So, on the defence, we've mentioned how Newcastle have really struggled for goals so far this season until the weekend just gone there. Big Nick stepping up. However, at the other end, been pretty tight.
Not bad.
On the Liverpool game. 3 clean sheets out of 4. Nick Pope, 3 clean sheets there that we mentioned. Some great saves at the start of the game. We've got Aaron Ramsdale, chomping at the bit to get his opportunity. But this is what I mean, man. This is why we always argue, why people say that, you don't need this, you don't need that, because you've already got him, you need competition with places, because it's clearly given Pope a kick up the arse. He knew whatever was going to happen last year, he was always going to get his place. Even if he got injured, Barca came in, right, I'm ready now. Okay, Nick, you're starting. He knows Ramsdale's breathing down his neck. And it's the same with the strikers. It's the same when we want another midfielder in. It's the same, I guess, what we just said there for Murphy. He's finally got right-wing competition now. So
even after, January, Miguel Almiron wasn't great competition, but we saw him in January. When he had that one right wing, I thought it was second half of the season. There was anyone else.
Yeah. I think you've seen it when Barnes is better as a substitute. Barnes is better when he's trying to come on and prove something. Gordon's always starting ahead of me. He does something, and then Barnes has been getting some stick the last game or two, but he's just had a bend. I think he's clearly not getting any sleep. He looks knackered. He had that good bit of play against Wolves. It was lovely, the build-up play. They got the back heels and he put it wide and over. But on another day, if he had more than 6 hours, he might have hit the back of the net.
Because he did against Wolves away last year, didn't he? That was one of the goals of the season last year for us.
Tremendous. Great goal.
I could see that going in, with a build-up play and Bruno's little flick and him, teeing that up. I thought, this is going to go on here. This is going to be another goal like that. But
goal of the month, that one easy. If that one had went in. But the defence, looking good. Like Chow as well, kind of get in.
Yeah, well, I always said that, and I always kind of believed that would be the case. As you mentioned before, Bruno, with the likes of Bruno and other foreign players coming in from the foreign league, Eddie Howe doesn't really like to just stick them in at the deep end. He likes to take the time with it, and I always kind of felt like that would be the case with Chow or any other centre back that we've been linked with. There was quite a few of them over the summer, like Scalvini, or anyone, maybe with the exception of a Gahey, who's obviously played in the Premier League in English. If anyone else was going to come in from a foreign league, you'd have to show that you are miles better than Fabian Schär in training, basically. Because you're not writing your name in that starting 11. You're not on the team sheet immediately. No. You have to earn that spot. Schär's done that wrong. So why would Eddie Howe just drop Fabian Schär? He's been one of a key player for us for years before even Eddie Howe was here. So why would Howe just drop Schär just because we've got this new player? You don't need to. No. And that's the beauty of having the depth. We're not desperate. We're not up shit's creek without a paddle. Unlike a striker. It would have been nice to not start Woltemade. Say if it was Risa who's got that Premier League experience, that would have been nice, but we didn't have that benefit unless you want to start Sula, which wasn't going to happen. But
thank goodness.
Chow doesn't need to play. Let him sit on the bench and watch the Premier League. He got 10, 15 minutes against Liverpool. But it's good that he kind of get a game. At least that means Schär's doing his job right.
Yeah.
No one's playing shit enough that they need to be replaced. But got Bradford in a couple of weeks. Got all these players chopping at the bit, your Ramsdales, your Chows, people like that. That's going to be an opportunity for them to get some game time, because in the Premier League and Champions League, sorry, but we've got to go with what we know and what works.
Definitely. I like the idea of Bradford and the Carabao. You don't want to experiment too much, but you do want to give players a chance. And it's Bradford.
And people are rest. Schär's 33 now. He can't be playing week in, week out. Trippier and all.
It's going to be a tough week, tough week, man, because Barca on Thursday, Bournemouth away on Sunday, the longest away day you could have done, followed by Bradford on. Is it on the Wednesday, Bradford?
Wednesday, yeah.
So there you go, man. That's going to be a tough week. So these players are going to need rested, but it does give an opportunity for The likes of Chow, the likes of Ramsdale, likes of Sula again. He looks class against these teams. He's scoring 3 months last year against Bromley and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the defense has been solid, so that's a class foundation to build on for the rest of the season. And we're going to need them to be solid on Thursday night.
God, yeah.
For sure. After Barcelona last night, we'll talk about that soon. Last mention of the Wolves game has to go out to the Italian stallion, Sandro Tonali, who just drops 10 out of 10s every week for no reason. Just because he wants to, just because he can, just because it's just easy.
Sexy Sandro, right?
Honestly, I put it out there on socials, and I've never seen someone so easily produced these 10 out of 10 performances just like effortlessly.
It is like kind of automatic, and it's like it's in his DNA. It's like I'm just going to go out there and just play mint and just not even care.
Not even break a sweat. Doesn't even look like he's,
not even trying.
It's just natural, like you said. It's just autopilot for Tonali. Like it's just
imagine if he actually like stuck a shift in.
Thursday night, hopefully. But no, like he does obviously he covers every blade of grass, but he just does it so lightly, so effortlessly, so tremendously. I mean, what a player he is. And you've got it now where everyone's already saying, next summer he's the one. This summer you lost to Isaac, next summer it'll be Tonali. I was going to say though, okay, it's so important that we learn from our lessons on the Isaac saga and all the rest of it, and get this tied down.
Contracts in,
get this tied down sooner, man, and get the massive release clause in there.
Oh yeah, release clause, like contracts when they earn and deserve it, which Tonali has. Like plenty others probably can and should get new contracts as well. Like
Tino,
even if it's not necessarily an extension, but they deserve more money. Like apparently Lewis Hall's only on $6,000.
That's like, mental.
Because he was just a youngin' when we signed him. I think he just kind of came out of a bloody schoolboy contract essentially at Chelsea. So he's on piss wages. So we could quite easily times that by 10, $60,000, and he's still not even one of the highest paid players of the club. Like he's still be nowhere near one of the highest paid players of the club. But yeah, like Sandro, deserves it, and would kind of be like any one of our key players, like Bruno's, anyone else, like we don't want to be in this situation again. Like we need to give players the contracts that they earn and deserve when they deserve it, when they earn it. But yeah, Sandro, like, I give him a little bit of stick against Leeds, and I think I've seen someone in the comments like saying like, Sandro didn't play shit against Leeds, and like he fucking did. Like sort of Bruno, I think everyone did.
Everyone was off.
For me, Tino was my best player, but everyone was off it. And like you're allowed these games. Like say he puts in 10 out of 10s, like almost week in, week out. It's like everyone can have an off game. Like just by saying that he had a bad game, I'm not at all saying that he's shit. It was just that one game that everyone was off the boil. I felt like every pass that he's had was getting like blocked by the first man. Like it was just one of them games for.
It's because you shouldn't have been playing though. Remember?
He had the shoulder injury against
the pain, and that he shouldn't have played, man.
But yeah, like this is like obviously back to his best. Like say everyone's allowed an off game. Bruno was obviously a lot better than he was against Leeds because he was dog pants and all. But he had a good game against Wolves as well. But yeah, Sandro Tonali, absolute Italian stallion.
He could be like the game changer, the difference maker against like a Barcelona, where their midfield's obviously class as the whole team is. But he's like at that level where Tonali. We did say this about Isaac. He can get into any team in the world.
Yeah,
Tonali can literally get into any team in the world. Man, he's that good.
Yeah,
he's that good.
I feel like if people don't really watch Tonali, they'll probably like underrate him.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think he was really going under the radar because like a lot of people don't. You do have to kind of watch a full game.
Yeah.
He nearly did score a screamer, to be fairly off the post against Wolves,
but he doesn't score loads. He doesn't get his loads. People like the stat watchers will probably tell you that he's not that good because he doesn't do X, Y, and Z. But
he's just a brilliant footballer.
Yeah, he does everything like so well, effortlessly. But I say he doesn't score the goals. He doesn't get the assists.
Grab the headlines maybe amongst the mainstream, or what other fans would look at. But you mentioned Lewis Hall's contract there. Just on the defense thing, we talked about how good the defense has been lately. He's been kept out the team. Obviously, come back from a long-term injury. But Trippier at his age has been flying. And Tino's been at left back, Trippier's at right back. So that's a nice luxury you have. But again, maybe the Carabao Cup game is a good time.
Get Lewis Hall needs
minutes.
Botman as well.
Number 3.
That's pretty much.
Botman, forget Botman. When he came on against Wolves, I was like, Botman.
So that like without even like getting into it next week, like now we'll talk about it next week, but that I've pretty much already written out like the majority of the back line there. So I want to say Ramsdale in goal.
Aye.
Hall left back with Botman and Chow.
Ciao.
And maybe his right back, Kraft, because you didn't want to play Trippier. He's 35 years old.
No.
And
Definitely.
Tino could maybe stay with the rest and all. Like, he's been playing loads of minutes lately.
I like that.
So maybe he's a Kraft or something at right back.
How's Nashby? I know.
Bradford, yeah. Could put Tino in if you think he's fit enough. But yeah, I'd like to give like most of the senior players a rest, and Tino deserves a rest. So yeah, that'll be my back four and goalkeeper. Like,
nice. Well, we'll talk about that next Monday. But we'll move things on now. Then, and a player that is getting a rest at the minute, unfortunately, is Yohan Wissa.
Not voluntary.
No, not voluntary. Oh, bloody not. Anyways, yeah. Of course it's not. He couldn't wait to play for Newcastle, but he returned from duty last week from DR Congo. And this is a player, Keg, that has missed 3 games or so in the past, 3 seasons for Brentford.
Of course he has.
A few games in a few seasons. Comes back, doesn't even kick a football for Newcastle, doesn't even get on the Benton training ground pitch. And he's injured. He's out for 4 or 5 weeks.
Yohan Wilson.
Yohan Wilson, bloody hell, we've got Miggy Wirtz. But Yohan Wilson.
Straight into that number 9 shirt.
I don't know.
That's changed.
I told you to not give him the number 9. Just retire it. Give it. Shearer's had it. Record setter. Just keep it at that. Because everyone else since then, it's not working out. CC one hit wonder, one season wonder, all the rest of it. Bit of this, bit of that. Obafemi Martins. Andy Carroll went, no, done with it now. Retire the 9. I'm telling you, wish I'd have took a different shirt number.
He just got a hat-trick against Wolves.
Honestly, how mental is it that he's played all them games throughout the last few years? It looked like, Mr. Rival, knows where the back of the net is, 29 now, experienced, fitness record's pretty spot on. And then he comes and he's injured before he can even put on the shirt and play a second of football for her. It's just bizarre, isn't it?
It's almost laughable because, it's just so typical of us.
I know.
We're definitely overspent on him because we were kind of forced to. We had to sign someone.
Desperate.
Brentford absolutely pulled our pants down.
No, they did.
We were massively overpaid for him, but yeah, we kind of had to. And now we haven't even got the luxury of playing him. Yeah. I say it would have been ideal to bench Woltemade, would have been his first game of availability for the club, playing in England, the physicality of the Premier League. He said that you had to come off after an hour because of cramp. How ideal would it be if you played Wissa for an hour and Woltemade for the last 30 minutes? So that would have been perfect. But just typical tune, really, isn't it? Not really much we can do about it. The good thing is that the early reports was that it was an ACL.
Yeah,
and that's his season done.
Yeah, oh man.
So it's probably
a good thing. It wasn't that
that would have been the most.
At least it wasn't an ACL.
Yeah, there's always a silver lining, and that's it. It could always be worse. But it's 4, 5, 6 weeks, whatever it is. Just got to crack on. Unfortunately, we've got a couple of Champions League games. We're starting in the Carabao Cup. Yeah, got quite a few games within that
7 games you're going to miss. He's already missed Wolves, so 6 games left. 2 Champions League, 1 Carabao, 3 Prem. Yeah. Big shame, and no doubt it would be a big loss. Like I say, we haven't even seen him in the black and white shirt, so you can't tell how much of a loss he's going to be. But that's why we paid that money, because we're bloody desperate. And now we've got Sula back as number 2. Yeah, because we're not even going to say it, but hopefully Woltemade stays playing and stays scoring. We'll be all right. Big next year now, and he's hit the ground running. But yeah, the Wissa injury was just typical tune. Kiss. New stadium. Okay, I did a video on this last week. There was lots of news that popped up last week regarding the new stadium, the new Crest, which we'll talk about next, and the new training ground. So just on the new stadium, we're still waiting to hear confirmed reports. Obviously, the rumours remain of a Leazes Park Stadium. That hasn't been signed off yet. New CEO is getting involved in that as well. So I guess we'll go with, when do you expect an announcement, and what do you expect it to be? Do you think the rumours are going to be true? Do you think they can get it done where it's going to be a new stadium in Leazes Park, or will we stay? What do you reckon?
I think it's probably going to be in Leazes Park. Yeah, I don't think we will get the planning permission. I think talks are probably already going on behind the scenes to get that done. But when is the bigger question? I don't even know if it's really an if now. I think it is a when. I think we are going to move to Leazes Park, but it's more like when, because obviously you're going to have to get the planning permission. You're going to have to do that. There's so much goes into it, contracts with the council and
the hippies, man. The hippies don't want us there.
Making sure the funds and all that's there. So we might get an announcement within the next year. But when the planning actually starts, when the stadium's going to be complete, when we're actually going to move out of St James's Park.
I'm still alive when it gets built.
You're talking maybe at least 2028, 2030. Yeah.
where it hosts stadium, the Euros. So
yeah. So that's like, when's the Euros 32?
no, it's when's the World Cup? It's 28 because it's every 2 years, isn't it? So 26 World Cup, 28 Euros, then 30 will be the next World Cup again, Saudi Arabia or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, Euro 2028, UK, baby.
Well, we might kind of squeeze it in by then, but it's not looking good, bro.
I don't think it's looking like that. It's not looking like that one. There's opposition though, isn't it? That's why apparently Newcastle don't want to put out the plans yet. You know, they've seen the designs that the owners have been in Newcastle, you know, looking at the blueprints, the layout of the new stadium and all the rest of it. But there's still some fight back. There's still that petition that's been signed by tens of thousands of people. You've still got the issue with the green space, which is what halted Newcastle building the stadium in Leazes Park back in the 90s before they end up expanding St James's Park. So you think that'll be okay and they'll get that over the line then?
Like I say, it's not going to be easy. There's a lot of like business that goes in behind. It's not just like, we'll just build that stadium here. And you can't just pick a plot.
Be nice if you could. You can, but you can't in the city centre when you want to remain in the city centre.
Yeah, so there's a lot of politics goes into it. Obviously, a lot of like discussions, like council approval, planning permission, contracts, and builders, and all this shit. Like it's not just like let's say like picking a plot and taking some bricks and concrete. Like it's a lot more than that. So yeah, don't hold your breath. I believe we will get it eventually, but it's going to take time.
If there was a block on it because of Leazes Park and the green space and all that heritage site, if it was offered to you, the case that, right, well, unfortunately, there's no city centre space left, you know, down by the arena's gone to housing, that was another plot that was mentioned. It's going to have to be out of the city, because you just said there you can't pick a plot and everything because it's a city centre, because, you know, everything else that's going on around it. But you could probably pick a spot in Gosforth, maybe, or even further afield in North England.
The HMRC building in Benton was a possibility.
That could be a possibility. Benton, Gosforth, bloody Northumberland, wherever you wanted. You could probably find enough space there, pay someone off, get it building, do it quickly, build a massive stadium and a little surrounding area with maybe some fan zones and all the rest of it. If I offered you that, or just stay at St James's Park because of its iconic location, city centre and the cathedral on the hill, what are you saying to that? Because, you know, a lot of fans don't want to see it moved out of the city centre.
I don't want to see it moved out of the city centre now, which is, I think, like Leazes Park, or just adjacent to it, is ideal. I was always on the side of staying at St James's Park. Like, I never really wanted a new stadium. I was definitely on the side of the fence of stay and extend. But the more that time's gone on and the more you kind of think about it, I think, like, we'll have to kind of keep up with the times. Like, St James's Park, like, it's historic and it's amazing and I love it. It's all that we've ever known and what our pretty great grandparents ever knew. Like it's home, innit? Like we haven't moved out of there since 1980 or 18 bloody whatever it was.
Whenever it started.
So yeah, like it's old, it's historic, it's amazing, it's got history, but we are a team kind of trying to move with the times, and that's the kind of thing. Like, and there's been all this talk about the extension. You can't do that because of the bloody list of buildings behind it. Like, you could only go up so far. How far can we go? Like, if we could guarantee that we could get about 80,000 seats jammed into St James's Park, then I'd be all over it. But I just don't think we'll be able to. I think we're better off building from scratch, like taking a leaf out of like Tottenham's book. Their stadium's amazing. Everton's looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Man United's got planning permission. Like, Man United already have the biggest stadium in the Premier League in club football in England, and they're moving out of there to go to a 100,000 seat stadium. Like, other teams are doing all this stuff. Like even back like less than 20 years, Arsenal's got a new stadium, City's got a new stadium, West Ham,
as well.
West Ham bought the London stadium. Like, everyone's kind of moving on. So yeah, like, I feel like we kind of should now, like, with this takeover, with the planned proposal, we want to win Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. We want to be one of the best teams in the world. Like I said, St James's Park's amazing for its history, but it is just a bit old-fashioned. I feel like it would cost millions
of dollars
to get it to where it's going to be like state-of-the-art, like where we're going to like kind of match, like, say, like an Old Trafford. Like, how much is it going to cost for to have like proper state-of-the-art facilities, a proper luxury, beautiful stadium where even like the concourses, the insides, like,
so we will have to do all of that as well.
Like, we were at the press conference at the after the Celtic Cup game, and I was looking around and I was having a bit of a giggle. I was thinking, It's a fucking shithole, yeah.
I seen them upgrade though. Aye, well, apparently because Barcelona come to town, so they felt very embarrassed.
Really, that's probably why.
Well, you know the little squeaky chairs that we've got in the press suite?
Oh, yeah.
They've put benches along there now. I don't know how good it is or what it looks like, but yeah, they've got new benches in there, but that's probably about it.
Yeah.
But we joke we're in there that, that needs a paint job. You've got the frames from like
the
2013 Sports
like
Direct
stuff
things.
on the walls and stuff. Like it's so outdated. Like just things like that. It's just going to cost money. Like for a new photo frame, it might cost a fucking 30 quid. But throughout the stadium and like all the licks of paint and all the modernizing of stuff, like in the concourse, like they've done a lot to it after the takeover.
It did look better with all.
It does look better than what it does than it did like 5 years ago. But still, like there's a lot of work to be done, like the catering and stuff needs attention and stuff like that. Like that's just so much work needs done in that stadium in and out. So
this is why they're saying that PIF don't believe it's a good enough return on investment. Really, if you were to pummel loads of money into St. James Park,
how much is that going to cost?
You can probably only expand it. Rumours about 62, 65 max. It was like 62 when it's 65 as a new stadium. You can only add about 8 to 10,000 seats in St. James Park if that was even possible. The money that would cost, the time it would take, the people that would have to lose the seat for a while inside the stadium, like you say, the amount of work that needs done to concourses, to everything else. There's just too much there, too much to be done. Mainly for me because of the allocation. Because I tell you, you mentioned all the teams that got new stadiums there. Liverpool have done a great job, I think, of upgrading Anfield.
Yeah,
they kind of made that look still like it's classic home, but also nicely reinvigorated with that new stand. I haven't went silly or crazy with it. I think that looks good. Villa Park's getting extended as well, but it just doesn't make sense for St. James Park to do it, really, does it?
Not for the long term. Yeah, not yet. It's not feasible to do that long term and still try and progress. Because, like I said, with the progression of the club where we want to be, it's already hard to get seats. Like, how many thousands are going to miss out week in, week out? Like, we'll extend by 8 to 10,000. You're still going to have that demand, and that demand's going to continue to go. Like look at Man City and like those kind of bandwagon fans that they've had over the past few years. Like they don't give a shit when they're at the main road.
No,
but now like they're winning Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues and stuff. Like people care now. People want to go.
Tourist.
I was going to say maybe it's a bit too touristy for some people. Like Old Trafford, like it's always full of Asians and Germans and Americans. And but that is going to happen. Like with the progression and development of the club, there's nothing that we can do to stop that. Like. Welcome to all the Americans and whoever else wants to come over. It's going to be great to kind of have that sort of like family feel and stuff, but the demand for tickets is already through the roof, and it's only going to go further through the roof. It's going to get through the stratosphere once we actually start like winning like proper like serious stuff.
Then you're going to need more seats.
Then you're going to need more seats.
You already do now.
That's what I mean.
100,000 waiting in a queue for Barcelona tickets.
The demand's already like through the roof, like, and it's just going to get worse as the years go on. So what's the point in going from 52 to 62? When you need 82,
yeah. Because like I said, there was 100,000 waiting in the queue for Barcelona. People say, "Oh yeah, it's Barcelona," but last year was sold out Wimbledon. You know what I mean? On a Wednesday night, Wimbledon was sold out, so you could easily get to around.
Don't sell out in the cup, but that's just
don't sell out one stand. But you can easily get to like 70,000 for me, with the potential of 80, and even if you did some sort of deals, family arrangements on the day stuff. There's way around it, but. That's that for me. What do you think would happen though? See if you got your wish, you got Leazes Park, you got a new stadium there. What's going to happen to St. James Park now then? Do you keep it? Does it get turned into something else? I mean, one suggestion I gave last week was, the opposition for the green space and everything, is we kind of just do swashes. You have some green space now in St. James's Park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we'll take up some of your green space in Leazes Park, the stadium.
Yeah, I mean, that's trying to like appease everyone. Like it's not the answer that you want, but obviously there's a lot of like politics goes into it, so you maybe have to like work with some people and try and give and not just take everything. Like you need to kind of swing both ways, but I don't know, because it's history. You don't really want to lose that history. I heard like Goodison Park's now for the women, which it's a big stadium, like not to like play down like the women's football. I'm sure Everton are in the WSL, aren't they? But it's still a pretty big stadium for WSL football. Like I don't know how often they're going to sell that out. It's like that's a massive stadium for the WSL. So obviously St. James Park's big at 52,000. You couldn't just keep it for the women. Like we've had plenty of women's games there, and it's about one stand. Unless it's the Salah Cup, like there's a few more. Like you're not going to sell that out.
Yeah.
Like 20 20 to 25,000, maybe. It's 52.
Yeah.
Like, it's like half the stadium's going to be empty. There's no point, even like for the under 23s or whatever. Like, you could keep it for concerts, you could keep it for Sam Fender's home ground. I don't know, like Arsenal's like we went to Highbury a few years ago. Remember that? Like that's like flats now, but they've still kind of kept it the same. Like it's still got like the centre spot and the clock and things like that. Like it still like looks like even on the outside, like nothing's changed on the outside. It's like walking into a stadium. It's like it's a mental space. Like, I like that. I love that.
That could be something. Yeah, it'll be that, but only student accommodation. Everything else around there is student living. So I do like that. Yeah, but realistically, you're right. Like you're not going to fill it enough, and you're not going to keep the 52,000 seat stadium there, and then just behind it the new 75,000. You're not going to have two massive stadiums. You're just not going to do that. You're just not going to. So, but it would be crying shame to see it knocked down. Like,
absolutely, that's the thing that I want to try and avoid at any cost. Like I don't want to see the bloody wrecking balls just knocking it down, like knocking all that history down. Like it's that would be a crying shame and a sad day for the football club. Like with obviously the idea of moving forward is obviously going to be a reason for it if that day ever does come. But yeah, it would be nice to kind of keep it as some sort of memento. But like it's too big a space just to kind of keep them doing that with.
Nah, it is right then. There's plenty of discussions about things changing, from stadiums to Crest to training grounds. Next up, the Crest. Then we know obviously that is coming, but it got delayed last week. It will now be the following season, so it was meant to be next season with a new badge. It's now going to be the season after because of all the publication, marketing, putting it on strips, production, all the rest of it. What's your thoughts on the new badge? We've got that leaked one where it's kind of like a reimagined version of the current one. Simplified.
That's great.
In it. You've got this one. That's obviously on all the new Terrace Icons ranges from the 80s. Should we do something simple like this, simple NFC badge? You've seen Liverpool where they've simplified their badge. It's just a live bird now with LFC underneath it. Should we do something like that? Obviously, by the sounds of it, the club are still going to stick to a similar design to the current one, which is kind of pointless. It just makes it look worse by the looks of it. But nothing official leaked yet. But it should be a year and a half now until a new Crest comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I want. Like, what I don't want is just like the proper generic round one that
shoulder jacket out.
I literally have got a shoulder jacket. Yeah, there's that round generic badge like Man City's, like loads of people, like Bristol City, they've got one. Like everyone's just proper simplifying it a little bit too much. Like it just looks like AI made. So you've just asked Siri, Siri, make us a football crest, will you? I'll sound there again.
There's a circle with your name at the top and you 1882 on the bottom. You know what I mean?
So easy. I can just visualize that. I just think because it's easily like transfers. Like I think it just looked simple is better to some people. Like Juventus has just got that J. What the fuck's that? That's lifting that.
This is simple enough and still small.
That is, I like that. But it is kind of going back. Like, do we want to go back? Like, I love it as like the retro style, but are we really going to go back to like an 80s logo?
Yeah.
So I don't see we're doing that, although it is smart. Like, we had it on like the away kit last year.
You look really good on the away kit.
I like that idea. Like, some teams are getting like older badges. You seen Fulham's?
Oh, it's terrible.
But it's like I like it, mate, because
so much going on. How they put that on the shit. There's loads going on.
Like
it's better than the current one because the current one's crap. It's the Shield with FFC.
Yeah, but it's proper old school. Although I don't even think it's that old school. I think it's like 90s. It just looks like it's from like the 80s, 90s. I
still prefer a badge with some imagination and creativity than just like FFC on it. You know what I mean? So fried chicken.
So that's just what I don't want. I just don't want like NUFC just written down in the vertical stripe. Like, all right, so that's yeah. So I do kind of like the idea of like a sort of modifying it. Like you say, like what's the point? And I get that. So I don't really think there's anything wrong with our badge, although like it is quite intricate, like when it's like woven, like it can like Newcastle United like being like so close together. Sometimes it can look like a joined. Yeah, it's quite easy to make a mistake with like the needle when that's getting woven in. That's why like the printed ones are probably better. But yeah, that's why I like the idea of just modifying it, making it a little bit simpler, but not too simple that it looks like it was drawn by a fucking 6-year-old.
Yeah, and that one does. The grey one doesn't it? The grey one does. I don't want to lose our identity as well. I think with our badge, it's special when you look at it. It's Newcastle. I like the shield in there and everything. I think the colours, everything goes well, man. So we'll see what they come out with. But there has been a delay on that. So we thought that this season it would be the final kits with the current badge on, but it will be next year after all. And then I think, towards the end of next season and next summer, early summer, you'll see new stadium plans and the new badge. And then they'll be like, this is the last season.
The future.
The future's here. Yeah, the future's here. So enjoy your last season, St. James Park. Enjoy your last badge. Everything's changing from here on out. Gotta get used to it.
Enjoy Sandro tonight before you get to Barcelona.
We've got 2 weeks left to Sandro because Real Madrid put a 95 million bid in. Great the future. But the new training ground is the last thing on the agenda of things that's going to change at Newcastle United. Obviously, they've been trying to do that for a while. They've come to about 10 million at the Benton training ground to change it from what Amanda Stavely said this week on the High Performance podcast. It was an absolute joke. It was a shambles. It was terrible. We all knew how bad that was. But it's been a move away. Has been discussed at 2 spots, one in Gosforth and one at Ponteland, because they had actually bid for a new site last week, but it got rejected and then they moved on. They said they were getting outpriced. Probably just thought the Saudis would just say yes to any figure.
Yeah.
And they just moved on. So
like Wissa.
Yeah. She didn't just pay that for Wissa. So we're going to charge you 2 million for that land, but actually it's 7.5 million now. So and they've went away with it. So they're in no rush. They've done up the new training ground.
Why does everyone just want to pull their pants down?
I know. Even, I know. It's neat now, isn't it?
And Strand Larson.
Can I get anything done? So the new training ground. Any preference for you, Keg, on location? Obviously, at the minute it's Benton, Gosforth, or Ponty. Personally, Gosforth for me would be great. Not too far from mine. That would be nice. The race course has always been kind of suggested as that area. I think that would be canny. Kind of, you're in the middle there. Close to town, but also close to everything else. But then I think of it in the, you look at Ponteland, where the majority of players live in Darrasol.
It's just up the road.
Close to the airport for when they are flying to Champions League games, when they are bringing in new players, new signings. So that one kind of makes sense. And if you can get a big enough space and just build a massive, unbelievable complex, that's what you need, man. And because Stevie mentioned in the podcast as well that they were embarrassed, when they were saying we need to sign players now. We're in a relegation battle. We're trying to sign Trippier's and Bruno Guimaraes, and we're having to, bring them to this absolute shit training ground.
Get them really bats out, man.
I'm away, man. And we see when Tonali came from AC Milan, and he was like, "Is this it?" Like looking around the gym, like it's tiny, it's crap. But it has improved massively. It is a nice building now, but it's still a far cry from.
They've pumped a lot of money into it.
About 10 million, but it's still a far cry from elite standards training grounds. We've seen what Man United have done with their training ground in Carrington. Pretty smart urinals. When you're pissing it tells you how dehydrated you are. Mental. Obviously doesn't work though. Obviously you can do all that. It still doesn't work. You still get beat every week. Yeah? But with the other teams, Leicester City have got an amazing training ground because when they had a bit of success, they got it sorted straight away.
Like Bournemouth and Brighton.
They've had I think Bournemouth have just had 18 months or something for a new state-of-the-art facility. So yeah.
Dare I say the Academy of Light's probably better than the
Middlesbrough's
training ground.
I heard Middlesbrough's is better. You know what I mean? So what's going on?
Yeah, it's a joke. That like for a team of this stature, like
Champions League team.
Yeah, and I know like we're kind of like left behind over the past like decade or two with Mike Ashley and stuff who didn't put money in. They're like having the wheelie bin baths. So that's why it's not like the club just kind of didn't do it. Mike Ashley didn't do it, and like we've had the takeover has only been 4 years in the making, and they spent 10 million on trying to rejuvenate the training ground, but it's like the stadium. Like it comes to a time where you can only do so much to it. Like what's this? I think there's quite a few like metaphors. One of them's along the lines of you kind of like sprinkle glitter on a shit or something like that. You kind of polish a turd. That might be like you can spend £10 million on the training ground, but it's still quite small. There's only so much you can do to it. Only so much you can fit in it. It's going to come a time where you're going to kind of run out of ideas or space and just think we need to move on. They've already spent 10 million. How much more are they going to have to spend to get it state of the art? Like where you're competing with some of the best teams in the world. Another 10 million minimum. Where you're at the point where you're just thinking, just cut the losses, just build somewhere new, like start from scratch and just start again.
I think so.
But that's going to be another one where it's not going to be easy because you're going to have to go through that same shit about planning permission and building and all this stuff with the council and blah, 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 blah. So it's fine to stay in Benton for the next 5 years. Well, we'll build a state-of-the-art facility. We'll spend 100 million, 200 million on a fancy new stadium, training facility. So Benton's fine. We've spent the money to kind of make it well enough, like it's serviceable enough, or like while we move in and any new signings again. This is our training ground. It's a bit shit,
but look at this one.
But don't worry, like we're going somewhere. Like
2 years. Yeah.
Well, just see what it looked like 5 years ago. It's a fucking shit though.
Be grateful. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to move with the times in every aspect of the club, from the inside out to your training grounds to the stadium. Like everything just needs newness because we are just
modernized.
We are just stuck in the old ways. Like we are just. I say we're polishing turds because
it stinks
because of like the 10, 15 years of neglect. Like it really does stink. It probably does smell.
It probably does have a lingering smell.
I bet like when Staley took over and they went around again, fucking stinks in here.
Sorry, man.
Did anyone clean them toilets out? What's going on?
Mate left a Big Mac in the fridge. Stinks 4 years ago. Still looks the same though. We're gonna try it, but it is time to move on to modernise. To act like a big club. If you want to be a big club, yes, here in the documentary, to be number one, you've got to have facilities to attract these players. This is their work. They go there every day.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to, and like I say, it is a nice, but listen, it is really nice now that the Benton ground, the training base there, but they've done a great job of it. But it's still, you've seen examples of other training grounds, and they are Spurs, man. Spurs is incredible. Like we're better than these teams now.
Yeah.
So let's have better facilities.
Absolutely.
I mean, and to the point, doesn't come off FFP and PSO. You can spend what you want.
I was quite surprised that we haven't done it sooner. It was spend £10 million on the Benton one, but like we could have just had this plan permission in like 2-3 years ago, and then we could have been halfway there by now. But like to the point of where do I want the training ground? I don't give a shit. Because I'm not going to go to.
You're not going to go try and get selfies, autographs.
No. I'm not going to be waiting at the door. Like, people forget. Like you just see them on a Saturday at St James's Park. Like they go there every day. Like that's their office. That's where they go to work.
You might not see them in traffic if it's in Ponteland.
I might not. No.
You know what I mean, like seeing them in traffic, don't you?
Although the Ben gets to school in Ponteland, so I might actually say more. Actually, say loads of players. I say them more taking the Ben to school than I do getting to work.
Then seeing the training ground as well.
In fact. Saturday, we were at the Ponteland Leisure Centre. It was about 2:25, so about 35 minutes before kickoff. And I'm positive I've seen John Ruddy driving towards Darras Hall.
Right, just need to be at the stadium.
I was going to say, like, at least be there. You're driving away from the stadium. You got home by the looks of it.
No point. Doesn't fancy watching Wolves. Thinks it's going to be a boring game. No, yes, I'm going, down for a swim. Down the Leisure Centre.
But that's the point. Like, I'm not going to be there, so I don't give a shit. It's what the players want, and that's why like Ponteland is perfect. So new signings getting dropped off at the airport or landing back from European trips, home's on the doorstep. It's like 5-10 minute drive away from home. Like the training facilities, it's all there. Like it's perfect. Like Ponteland, like would be great. Like a few of them do live elsewhere. Like some might live in like Jesmond, or some might live like up in the sticks in Northumberland, like, and Trips lives up in like Morpeth sort of way, doesn't he? Like
a lot of them live in Jesmond and Gosforth and stuff.
Yeah, but it's still like not a million miles away, is it? Like it's still.
I mean, they've got nice enough cars to go for a little drive, anyways, haven't they?
Get the Lambo, man.
Yeah, I mean, get the Lambo for your 30-minute drive, wherever it is. Like, it's not the end of it. Heat steering wheel, lovely. Right then, what would be lovely is a big Champions League victory.
I thought you were going to say a medal there.
Yeah, well, you might get a medal when you win the Champions League. Who knows? It starts Thursday night. Thursday isn't any good, though, is it?
It's weird, isn't it? It's like,
why have you done that?
It's fucking Europa League, is it?
We've tried so hard to get there. You finish fifth, we get the Champions League, and now it feels like we're in the Conference League. Thursday night. There you go. About Tuesdays or Wednesdays.
Oh, you wait, that's what I do.
Tuesday and then Thursday night, you play Barcelona, and then you got a day, and then you got to travel down to bloody Bournemouth. Goodness me. But Barcelona, the iconic fixture. Rest in peace to the great Sir Bobby Robson. The similarities are there. Tino Asprilla hat-trick, I mentioned it earlier. It's one of the best fixtures in the competition's history, and I can't wait for this one. Barcelona back in the tune, fresh off a little 6-0 win last night.
No, was that it?
That was it, 6-0, and that was without Lamine Yamal. So class that.
Who did they play?
Valencia.
Did they?
Yeah, slapped them 6-0. Gary Neville's not even the manager. Absolutely. What's Phil doing? But yeah, slapped them up. Valencia were really bad, but Barcelona smashed them, and that'll obviously bring them full of enthusiasm and confidence heading to St James's Park on Thursday. But we're not Valencia. I think they finished like 12th in La Liga last year, so people worrying about that. Don't worry, man. Remember when Barcelona came in '87? everyone was crapping their pants.
When PSG came 2 years ago.
PSG came 2 years ago, exactly. Oh, Newcastle to get murdered. We made it then.
Dembele.
Exactly. So the main one, obviously the star kid, the wonder boy, Lamine Yamal, is apparently going to miss the game. Nothing confirmed yet, but he missed the game yesterday against Valencia. He's still meant to be out of this fixture, as well as Javi as well, the midfielder, with Alejandro Balde, the defender, also doubtful. Frankie de Jong's back in training. Rashford could play. He played yesterday. Rashford could play. Season-long loan for him. Yeah, season-long loan for him. Firmin Lopez scored a brace yesterday, who's obviously linked with Newcastle in that massive money move. I don't know where that rumor started from. Like, it would have been nice, but it wasn't true. And we need to talk about this guy because veteran forward Lewandowski scored a couple last night as well. And this is off the back of the news that he's a massive magpie. He's a real mag. He's a true fan of the tune.
Him and Tony Kroos next year.
Exactly. Well, I would love it.
Unveil the new stadium.
Yeah, Lewandowski's leaving apparently next year, so bring him in for EA. Maybe 38, 39, not asked. Do you know what I mean? Get him in. Get a Sula. Get Lewandowski in for a year or two. So we've got Lewandowski, who revealed yesterday that he's a big Alan Shearer fan. He used to have a shirt with Shearer 9 on the back and used to do the iconic celebration as well. Don't you dare do it on Thursday night. Disrespect us on the legend, right? Because Shearer will be there watching. So Lewandowski, how mad is that? Like, he used to have a Shearer shirt.
Yeah. But it's not uncommon though. Like people of that era, like Berbatov did. Like Berbatov used to say he used to sleep in a Shearer shirt. Like he
should have signed him, shouldn't we?
He's a legend. Like, you think about it, like it's little old Newcastle, especially back then when we were a little bit shit. Like Shearer was one of the best strikers in the world record signing. Yeah, it's no different to have like a Neymar shirt or something like that. You know what I mean? Like Shearer was a big deal back then, and people for that age coming up now, like he was a hero to a lot of these international strikers, like Berbatovs and Lewandowskis and stuff. Yeah, legend.
Whenever I used to go on holiday as a kid, it was always the foreigners would be shouting Shearer. That's all they knew, isn't it? Like, he was the man. He still is the man. He's a legend. But these great players of the game now, Lewandowski, despite his age, still banging goals and still one of the best strikers in the world.
Still got like one of some of the most elite numbers in Europe.
So he's some player. He's had a great career, and it's class to see that he's been a fan of Shearer and Newcastle. So they're second in the table at the minute, Keg, over there in Spain. 3 wins and a draw from their quartet opening games. How we're feeling and heading into this one, huge clash. We spoke about their team news just briefly on us. We know obviously Ramsey and Wissa are out injured for a while. Despite having a domestic suspension, Anthony Gordon can feature in this game and is very likely to start over Harvey Barnes. Got some pace there. I'm predicting he's going to have a great game actually on Thursday night. Nick Pope, going to come in and start again with all the clean sheets he's been keeping. And everything else should be looking good for Newcastle. Debate whether Murphy should start, Alanga should start. Obviously, Woltemade is going to have to start.
Gordon Barnes.
Just before we get into predictions, how you see the game going and stuff, what would you do then? You like your lineup predictions and that? Do you keep it pretty much the same?
It's a hard one, this one. This is a difficult one. Like we're like a Wolves or a Leeds or something. Like no disrespect to them, but you can kind of pick your team and it's quite easy. But it's Barcelona. It's the Champions League. Like it's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? Like I think for the most part, you've kind of got to keep it the same unless like you kind of show them too much respect and do something mad like Eddie Howe did with Leeds and play 5 at the back for no reason. I think I would play it the same. Yeah, like same.
Don't play 5 at the back. PSG style.
Same back 4, same midfield 3. Voldemar up front. It's just the wingers. That's the big question now between Barnes and Gordon or Alanga Murphy. They're my biggest questions.
Gordon's got to come in. I think Barnes was that good last game. Let him have a rest now. Let him change some nappies. Let Gordon start. Aaron's making a good point there in the chat. Alanga to stop because of their high line, and that will benefit us massively. Barca's high line. If you have the pace of Gordon and Alanga, they have Voldemar in the box there. Obviously, it's harsh on Murphy, but then Murphy can start 2 days against Bournemouth. I just think that I think the pace the wingers will help massively against Barca's defence.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So I'm really looking forward to the game. Listen, I'm excited. I think we're going to give ourselves a good account. Listen, if you get beat off Barcelona, who cares? Who can complain, shall I say? Obviously, you care. You want to do well. I want to win the Champions League. Arsenal did win the Champions League, though. They were semi-finalists last year. So, listen, it's going to be a big ask. Great talented team. Yamal, though, if he's out, that's a big help. Yeah, big help for us. Big loss for them.
It's a shame not to see him. I'm a bit bittersweet about that.
The same. Yeah, that's what I said to people at the weekend. I want to see him. I want to win the game. I should have, but
he's
I also want to see the best player.
He's like one like not to like gas him up too high because he's only like 17 or whatever, but he could be like the next like Messi.
He probably will.
Like, imagine if you had the opportunity to see Messi and he was injured.
I know.
Like on the day, you'd be like, oh, get in, fucking Messi's not playing. But 20 years later, when you're telling your kids about it, like, because Messi was injured.
I seen Rashford though.
That's a really good story. That Dad, cheers.
Nice. See Rashford in Barcelona shirt instead. That's kind. Yeah, no, I want to see. When you get the Champions League, this is what you want.
This is what you want. You
want
test
the
yourself.
big players. You want the big teams. Barcelona or yeah, bring it on, man. Dan Burn and do a job anyway.
But like I said, this is it. Like I remember when the draw was on, I mistakenly booked a haircut. I was in the seat, and me barber's a Chelsea fan, so we're watching the draw together. I had it on the bench in front of us, and when we were getting like Barcelona and PSG and stuff, like I was like celebrating. I was like, get in, and he was like, you sound a bit nervous there, mate. I was like, I really, really want these teams. Like that's the point. Like we're not going to win the cunt. So
who knows?
So, like that's it. Like,
got to a final.
Yeah, but like I feel like everyone else, we've actually got a really good draw. But you want a couple of big boys. You want like that nice. You want that nice mix, like a few easy teams, get a few wins, and you want your Barca's and your PSGs. Like if we've got Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, bring it on. That's what you want. That's what you want. So I'm buzzing to play Barcelona. The result on the night's the result on the night. It don't really matter. We can get by with a loss or two because of the new Champions League format.
There's enough games. Yeah, it's not like the group of death last time. You lose one or two, it's a bit shit.
And what would your honest prediction have been for the PSG game 2 years ago?
I did say we were going to win. To be fair,
well, I think most people said we would have got stuffed. like it would be expected, like maybe it's a 4-0 or a 4-1 on the other side, 5-0, 6-0. Like PSG, like they should have absolutely smashed one. But historically, we've beat Barca already at home. We beat PSG at home. Bring it on. Mm-hmm. Just give them the best account possible. And if we get off on the right foot, create ourselves another massive European night in history, like Barcelona, like you said, 28 years ago, we're still talking about it. PSG 2 years ago, we'll still be talking about that in 28 years' time. Mm-hmm. Like, this is what the Champions League is all about. Like, for a team like Newcastle that's not in it year in, year out, like a Man United or an Arsenal, Liverpool, who's been there, done that, been there nearly every year for the last however many decades, like, they'll have their special Champions League nights in history, but that's probably too many to choose from. Like for us, like we've got a handful. Like there was obviously the games where we won. Was it 2002 with Bobby Robson, where we lost our first three, but then won the last three? Like they were mint nights, like Juventus and stuff like that. Like that's what we want. We want to make memories. Like if we'll win, we'll lose, whatever, man. Like,
I think it goes out saying, well, the atmosphere is going to be electric, and it has to be as close as a repeat we can to the Paris Saint-Germain game in terms of atmosphere, build up and the press, the energy from the players. That is so important. That's what rattled Paris Saint-Germain last time. Yeah. Getting in the faces, intense, get the crowd going. You know it's going to be unreal. And we're going to have to see all of that all over again if you're going to get anywhere near winning against these unbelievable European sides. So I'll give you my honest prediction for this one, though. I'm going to go draw. I don't think we'll get beat, but I'm not sure we'll have enough to win. So I'm thinking 2-2. That'll be class. I'd take that all day long because we've got the PSVs at home. We've got teams, get enough points to get through to the knockouts. Yeah, easy.
My head is telling me probably a 2-1 Barcelona win. Like I don't feel like we'll get smashed because it's St James's Park, because it's the Champions League, because of war flags and the atmosphere and the jollies and stuff. Like I think the players will be right up for it,
dead up for it. Know your mal.
So yeah, even if we get beat by 1 goal, look, it's Barcelona.
No, I know.
Take that all day long. I'm not really bad, but my heart does say like we could go that extra mile, and even a draw is fine if we scrape a one goal win, mint. Whether it's 1-0, 2-1, 3-2,
it could be a 3. Actually, I'm gonna have to say 3-2 because I just think with the date being so close to the original game and stuff, it just seems. Is it written in the stars? Fucking 3-2.
3-2. Get it on.
Baltimore a hat-trick. Good and big Nick's doing a Tino. Let's go. Let's go. Can't wait, man. Looking forward to that game. But that'll do for this week's show, Peter. Thanks for joining me on the new weekly slot. Mondays at 6. Plenty more to come, I'm sure, throughout the season with all these matches that are piling up. So please subscribe to the Magpie Channel TV if you haven't done so already. Drop a like and enjoy yourself.